Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is my May 2025 book haul. Like last month, I'm keeping my haul relatively small at 4 books, small for me. This month in June, my haul's probably going to balloon a bit, but for now, I can pretend I am being, economic about all of this. So, 3 of the books come from the Gaithersburg Book Festival, which I made a whole video about. I'll link down below. The first one comes from Journal of the Month. It is a monthly subscription box, or quarterly in my case, subscription box that sends a variety of, I think, US literary journals for people who want to read them. So this is the edition of Plowshares from Emerson College from spring 2025. It's actually been a while since I've read a Plowshares edition, so I'm excited about that. I tend to take literary journals like this, and I read them in the beginning of my AM reading videos, or read one short story, I should say, at the beginning of my AM reading videos. I'll link to Journal of the Month down below in case a subscription is of interest to you. The next book I featured relatively prominently in the Gaithersburg Book Festival video. This is The Anatomy of Exile by Ziva Bukai. She's an author whose panel I went to go see, and then I got the book signed by her. And here's the signature, personalized signature, and that's my Politics and Prose local bookstore bookmark. And anyway, I will read from the flap about what the book is about. In the wake of the 1967 Six-Day War, Tamar Abadi's world collapses when her sister-in-law is killed in what appears to be a terror attack, but what is really the result of a secret relationship with a Palestinian poet. Tamar's husband Salim is an Arab and a Jew. Torn between the two identities and mourning his sister's death, he uproots the family and moves them to the U.S. While Tamar struggles to maintain the integrity of the family's Jewish-Israeli identity against the backdrop of the American melting pot culture, a Palestinian family moves into the apartment upstairs, and she is forced to reckon with her narrow thinking as her daughter falls in love with the Palestinian son. Fearing history will repeat itself, Tamar's determination to separate the two sets into motion a series of events that have the power to destroy her relationship with her daughter, her marriage, and the family she has worked so hard to protect. This powerful novel debut explores Tamar's struggle to help keep her family intact, to accept love that is taboo, and it grapples with how exile forces us to reshape our identity in ways we could not imagine. So yeah, I think especially given that, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is very centered in world news, it's helpful and useful to, read literature and read narratives where, characters from that region have to interact with each other and what it looks like. I think one thing, it's not quite clear about the husband in this, saying he's an Arab and a Jew. It means that he is what we now call Mizrahi descent, so he's a Jewish, his family is Jewish, and they come, I believe, from Syria. So there's a lot of cultural issues at play here, all from mid-century, and I'm looking forward to reading this book pretty soon. These next 2 books come from my Friends of the Library used book sale that they bring to this particular festival, which I love to use as a scavenger hunt for my long list of books on my TBR. But, even when you have a long list of books on a TBR, it's rare, I think, to find all of them in one place, especially, I guess, if your tastes are strange in a way. Like a lot of mine come from the Jewish Book Council, so it's not a lot of them are, in places like this, but this year in particular, I feel like I found less than usual, which is unfortunate, but I decided to go in other directions, especially with, well, this is The Same Sea by Amos Oz, which is definitely Jewish fiction, translated Israeli fiction, which technically isn't on my scavenger hunt list, but last year I started collecting Amos Oz's translated novels from used bookstores, so I thought I'd go ahead and continue that trend now that I saw one here. So reading from the back, it says, "The Same Sea is Amos Oz's most adventurous and inventive book, a novel of lyrical beauty and narrative power. We meet the middle-aged Albert, his wife whom he's lost to cancer, his prodigal son who wanders the mountains of Tibet hoping to find himself, and his son's young girlfriend with whom Albert becomes infatuated. The author himself receives phone calls from his creations, criticizing him for his portraits of them. A fever dream of chaos and order, love and eroticism, loyalty and betrayal, I actually didn't even read the back of the book before that, and I don't necessarily like the breaking of the fourth wall that much in fiction, but though I do feel like, I'm probably not alone in giving special concessions to authors I tend to like anyway versus ones I don't like, so I guess I'll give Amos Oz the concession and see where he goes with this. And the final book I have to share was on my scavenger hunt list. It's The Dutch House by Ann Patchett, and it just doesn't feel that exciting to find because it's so ubiquitous everywhere, and I figured if I did get around to reading it, I could just go ahead and get it from the library proper where it's probably still in circulation, but after scrounging all those tables and I didn't find anything else on the scavenger hunt list, I'm like, well, why not? I'll pick it up. I'm still interested to read it, and now I have a copy for, when that comes up. So yeah, this is a famous literary novel and a Pulitzer Prize finalist, and I don't actually think I've read any Ann Patchett before, which is kind of embarrassing in a way if you're, a literary snobbish sort of person, so hopefully I will get to this. And that about covers it for me now. I will leave Goodreads links for all of the novels listed below and more information on Plowshares as well. And I think I'll be back on this channel probably to go ahead and do my BookTube Prize quarterfinals wrap-up video because Robert, the director of the BookTube Prize, has just posted the video about what made it to the semifinals, and now I can officially share my thoughts on my ballot, so stay tuned for that. I hope you are all having a great time as we move closer to the second half of the year. I guess we only have one more month left until that happens, and that you're acquiring books that you're excited to read. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.